How you guys doing? Um, because of in light of some of the recent photo editing or video editing we've been trying to do with the channel and all the videos I try to make, the laptop I've been using just won't cut it anymore. It was a pain in the ass. We're trying to do some new things with the filming, and quite frankly, the laptop I was using was taking days to edit shit the way it needed to be edited. So it was Black Friday and Cyber Monday weekend, and I decided to bite the bullet and, for the first time ever, build a computer that's good enough to do the majority of the rendering and stitching of videos that we do, or that I do with this stuff, and got some decent deals, I think. I'm gonna put the computer together for the first time. Got some other shit laying on the ground, but this is the majority of the parts that we have. The way I went about this was I kind of identified the areas that I was willing to spend money on, and I put like a price cap on it. So I was thinking, one thing is the CPU, the memory that we have, the video card, and the actual storage of the system. Everything has to be fairly quick and fairly decent. And I didn't want to spend over $500 on any individual category. So I'm happily I kept it under that, but it was difficult to do. Uh, we got the Threadripper, the 1950X, for $450 on Newegg, which was a pretty good deal. It's up to 600 now again, so that's pretty good. We got 64 gigabytes of this really ugly RAM, but it's 3000 megahertz DDR4. Supposed to be set up for using Ryzen Threadripper, and it was $104 a set, which was a pretty good deal on RAM. I don't think that's bad on RAM at all. We got two 970 EVOs, 1 terabyte each. These were $225 a piece on sale. Another reason I went with the Threadripper was because this board was $100 off as well. So it was, instead of $300, it was $200. So I got the motherboard for that. Got the big ass oversized power supply just to, I guess, future-proof this in case we do anything more powerful or get a different processor or anything in the future. This was also on sale. I think it was like $130. And the last thing was hard to get. Bought this one used. This is just a Titan X. We're not really looking to game or anything. Like, it's kind of funny. I always wanted to build my own computer when I was little. That was probably to game with, not to edit videos with or anything. So I've been really happy, but when I was little and doing that, I think Moore's Law was still in effect. So if you built a computer the next year, you had twice the computer for the same price, basically. So Titan X, whatever. It's used. If the Threadripper starts outpacing it, we can get a nicer one. But I just wanted to see how it would do on the system the way I'm using it now. This was $400 used. I feel like that was a decent deal. We also grabbed an expandable water cooling system, the Fractal Design Celsius S36 to go with the case, and that's just a Wi-Fi card because this doesn't come with Wi-Fi, and I don't have a dedicated Ethernet down here yet where this is going to be. So I watched some of the videos on how to install these things, and maybe we give it a shot as a complete amateur to see how hard it is to actually follow along with that. And we're just kind of going for it. Alright. Ooh. So, anything else in here? I'm gonna say all that stuff is empty. Now I'm on a static mat here, so we can't have static electricity going through it. I'm grounding myself to the floor. Here's a bunch of stuff we got. an SLI bridge, a plate of some kind, power connectors for something, power connectors for something else, more plates, something for LEDs, step 1, custom cable mods, I don't think we need that, and the CD. Okay, I don't know how I put a CD in this, but whatever. I do not have a CD drive going into here for now. Maybe in the future. So that's not sealed. I guess that's not a problem, but that bastard's got a little bulk to it. Really not that light. So, I guess the first thing to do is we're going to unbox the Threadripper. I'm going to shove this off to the side. Rip here. Uh-oh. Unlock the power. I don't know if you guys can see that. Let's just... the fuck? Alright. So, got a hell of a thing there. Guess that's for a different setup, cooling wise. I guess that's a sticker you put on, or the stickers you put on your computer if you are into that. That is tiny. Yep. Read this first. Limit 3-year warranty. Installation instructions. Oh, pictures. There we go. Pictures in black and white, because, you know, it's 2018. We can still do things in black and white. Who needs colors? So that's how you mount the fan onto it. Oh, socket installation, socket TR4. Loosen in 3-2-1 order. I believe that's what the Asus thing, or whatever you say that, is the same way. Yep, 3-2-1. I think this is a better representation of black and white than this. This should be color. Loosen 3-2-1, lift up socket, hold by carrier, slip it in, drop it in, tighten until the wrench clicks. So this is until it clicks. So okay. I guess it's a there's a torque setting in it. So I still gotta unlock the power here. Ooh. What a show. Oy. I feel like this is unnecessary. Like over the top here. Okay. Oh, there's the bastard. Well, gently put that back for right now. That's a lot of shit that can go wrong. So, labeled 3, 2, 1. Fairly easy. Feels like it's coming up with me, so let me loosen them all first. Okay. Alright. So there's two little tabs here. How do you guys work? Just pull up. Slip that out. I think the frame goes in the same way. This is beefy. That slid in pretty easy. Remove this socket cover thing. Okay. That's a lot of pins. I'm going to put this thing down quickly before any dust or anything can get in here. Make sure it's all the way back. Okay. So I'm going to close it. 1, 2, 3. Before I try to ratchet, let me just get a light amount on them. I'm going to tighten them down 1, 2, 3 like they say. Alright, that's torqued. That one's torqued. So that's installed. All right, so that's the first step. Let me try to clean up a little bit here, and let's do the memory, then clean up. So this is cheap memory, cheap higher end, or higher powered memory rather. I know they have secondaries and primaries, but we're going to fill up all the slots here, so. Okay. That is interesting. So we're just going to go for it here. Start on this end. I don't think there's any rhyme or reason to what I'm doing with this. Alright. Maybe I should take these stickers off. I can always take this out and take those stickers off if need be. Is that wrong? That's wrong. Alternates. Two are in. And I got the RAM from Newegg. The board came from Amazon. The RAM came from Newegg. The Ryzen chip came from Newegg. Pretty much everything else besides my used graphics card came from Newegg then. So they had some good sales, I think. Alright. One side's loaded up. Definitely use some thick plastic on the packaging here. All right. This stuff feels fragile with all this weird plastic over it. I'll say that. Like, uncomfortable. It's hardcore gaming memory. I don't know what that means, but sounds pretty good, I guess. Huh. That one felt a little loose. All the color makers on it and everything. Backwards. So you get to see the nice ugly label. Real classy setup there. Alright. So we got that together. I'll clean the bench up real quick. One of the M2s goes here, and the other one I think goes there, if I'm seeing that correctly. M2.2 socket. Okay. It just slips out. That's one of them. I believe the other one's underneath here. Let's look in the manual, see if we find anything. Yeah, there's a lot of instructions. Okay. Let me clean up and grab a little screwdriver. I'm probably gonna end up taking that out for right now. Don't feel super comfortable with that being there. And yeah, it's the start. Give these guys a little torque. Remove this that said remove on it. That fit right over the board pretty nice there. Alright. So, that's not so bad. I know these are supported slots, they said. I'm not exactly sure which one they want me to put this big bastard in. Tighten X. My cheap Titan. That's nice of them. Not original packaging, clearly. But they kept it taped up real nice. Alright. With the plastic on it. now, we'll just run it like that. Has enough hookups. There's like a heat pipe here and stuff. There's a lot of stuff going on with this. This is the X399A board, so it's the cheaper of the boards, and with the price it was, it's the cheapest board to put a Threadripper in. So it's pretty good. Let me get my Wi-Fi card. Just like that. It's an external antenna. It's Asus as well. I've got a lot of Asus stuff. Put in this little slot here. That one's not supported, so I'm not going to put a lot of force into her. I don't know what that extra shield is for. I guess if you have a smaller case, yeah, if you had a more shallow setup. I think this is far too fancy for Wi-Fi, but I wonder how much of this shit you actually need. Everything plated and all this. Has a heat sink on it. Better get a signal. So I don't like that. This doesn't have the same support that one does. So we're just going to take this out for now. That does not have the same support, so it's kind of rocking forward. It's a little front heavy, or back heavy, whatever you want to call it. But this big bastard kind of distributes itself over there pretty well. Make room. I just want to dry fit this stuff to start. I remember reading the tutorial. It's probably a good idea to test it prior to you building the whole thing, which seems smart to do. Have some Arctic Silver 5 high density polysynthetic silver thermal compound to put on the chip there. Celsius User's Guide. Fan 2, fan 3. Oh, whole bunch of bracketry. This little baby car radiator thing. And a water pump. Alright. So I see how this goes to these four. I guess there's four there for it. Got some extra stuff there. AMD. So I guess there's a standoffs for AMD processors. So that's the bottom. Okay. I guess that's pre-applied thermal compound. Maybe I don't need that little Arctic silver stuff. Put that back before it gets dusty or anything. And yeah. I'll clean up a little bit, do a little reading on this, then get back to this build. So my camera shut off again on me. Must be a sign. Yeah, I'm super uncool with these. I don't think these are right. At least not for this board. I kind of get what they're doing with this. They're kind of adding extra support because they're not using a bracket. I don't know if maybe they plated these and they plated them to, I don't know if that's stainless or if that's just plated at this point. Is there a thread in there? No, it's not threaded, it's just machined shitty inside. I feel like that goes deeper. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's just it bottoming out. I don't get that fucking part for them. Cooler, connect the pumps, yada yada yada. Yeah, this one's very high compared to that one. I don't know. It's all fucked up, I think. I feel like that's so fucking wrong. That feels really shitty. It's the best way to say that. I don't know if that's thermal paste or what that is. That's thermal paste. So, if I was going to mount you, that's not right. So that's why this one comes off. And this one goes on. That ain't right either. So I always thought it was an AMD AM4 bracket that I'm using with this, which I was pretty sure that was a TR4 socket. So it's not an AMD4, it's a TR4 socket. Threadripper 4, makes sense. So yeah, these are not right. So I need to come up with some custom solutions to get this fucker on here. This way you can't trust those parts generators like that PC parts picker, because it did say this was compatible with this. So that's a little fucked up. Let's consider this stock bastard. Oh wait, we got this bracket that came with the that might work. Okay, gotta get that off. There's a special way to take that fucker off. 1/8 turn. So if I'm looking at that on the bottom, that's how it comes off. Think we're in business, boys. That would go that way. I have no idea if that's the way I want this thing on there. Let's see. CPU fan. So the CPU stuff might be right there. Let's see if there's a little diagram in this book. Five, CPU optional, cover, AIO pump. That's 5. AIO pump is by the audio jacks over here. What? What? The fuck? Alright. So the socket's there. The 28 pin connectors here. Signs over here. I think it's fucking lying. Huh. See that shit? So if I spin this around, crystal sound, so you're there, the PCIs are here. There's an M2.1 socket here. What? Okay, yeah, that's there. It's underneath that, so that's good. All that shit seems right. And right behind the audio,
Do you come off the board? There's a couple screws. Oh wait, there it is. It's right down there, slammed in with the right behind the memory. Okay. They're doing pretty good with that then. So I want this cord to stick out this way. The two inner ones are there, two outer ones are there. God hates a coward, right? So I'm going to tighten that. Get you in. So that's 4. I don't know what the fuck you are. Alright. Let's get the Titan out of here real quick. Come on, baby. Guess that's there to stay. Okay. Bring you this way. I'm just going to finger tighten these. Alright, I think that's pretty much on there. The fuck? There is some kind of backing on here. The sticker didn't work out too well for him. Oh. Jesus. Really make you work. Is that just not supposed to come off? At this point, I'm not sure. It feels like shit. It feels like it should come off. So this goes in there. Oh, come on. All right. I need to bolt the 3 fans onto this. kind of nice because the board comes up here, which is pretty cool. So, rotation flow. I want to pull in because I think the cases, some fans, are going to be in front of this bastard. That's kind of nice that they wrap like that. So I want them to flow in because the case is going to flow in. Now I have everything flowing into it. There was another baggie they had. With this stuff. So So be conscious, this stuff kind of wraps around, it looks like. So you can do that. And keep these wires kind of tidy, I guess. That went on pretty well. We'll call this the longest one. Keep the flows the same, obviously. Make this one like this. That might, yeah, it does it. Pretty flexible hoses, I'll say. I don't want to overextend them. Just go like that, and hopefully you can reach. Maybe. Oh boy. Maybe like that. Go up this way. I think it gets there. Barely. Okay. So, I don't know, man. I feel like there's some fuckery going on here. That's just too short that way. If I rotate it the other way, it's not much longer. It's going to be the same. If I put it up top, might get there. But I'm going to take that screw out, these screws out. I wonder if one of these is longer. Doesn't look like it. They'll look about the same. Don't lose the screw. If you like, just run up through there. Guess maybe if I loosen that one, it just has enough to get there. That's pretty good. If that's the case. But that's pretty nice. I'm going to take this card out for the time being. Put it back in the box over there. Just trying to be gentle on the electronics. Alright. So, you fit right there. Super tight. And not bad. Get you in there. Let's get this last guy. You in here. Alright. So they're all tucked in there. It's not bad. Semi-managed. Alright. The water cooler is on the board. Got a ton of extra stuff here to mount it to shit. Put all this back in. Guess that's just something to be conscious with if you're using this X399 or the Threadripper platform, the TR chip, not the AM4, the TR4 chip. And this Fractal unit. I like this Fractal unit. Number one, was on sale, which was good. It was like $150, or it might be actually less. That might have been 120, whatever it was. It was on sale, which was good. And it's expandable, which is even better. So you can make a custom water loop out of this, which might be something, somewhat of a project that we do going in the future. Toss that over there. The massive power supply out. I definitely oversized the power supply, but again, the Threadrippers are kind of power hungry chips, I've been told. And if we're doing anything crazy with CPUs or GPUs, having a lot of extra power available to you, it's not going to be a bad thing. Jesus. There goes. HX1200i. That's a heavy power cord. That's a good brick. Corsair. Set. All those zip ties came from the power cord. I guess that's for managing the cables. Alright. Another one down. Sound operation at low to moderate loads. In this mode, the fan will not spin. That's pretty cool. That would that helps if we're overpowered then. So that guy. And a lot of black cables. Good. Nice baggies though. Really nice packaging with this. Big pen. A lot of stuff back here. Huh. There's a micro USB too. Wow. Where to begin? Guess these two big bastards goes to the big plug. .24 pin. So the big 24 pin is over here. Alright. Peripherals and SATA. I have nothing on my SATA. I'm using all the M.2 drives. super cool with that one. We definitely need PCIs. And I need something going for my pump, don't I? So let's break out this guy. Sorry, my camera stopped recording. Got the big 24-pin connector in. I'm not sure where we left off now. So I definitely need to get these two in. That's one an 8-pin. That one's a 4-pin. There's definitely 8 pins there. That's SATA. That's some shit. That's 6 pins. They give you a whole lot of wires here, man. There's supposed to be 2 8-pin setups in this configuration, and I found a bunch of them. Some weird stuff. SATA, 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 SATA. Eight pin. So we got 2 8 pins. B is a 12-volt power setup. Is that little guy there, that little 4-pinner? You got 2 connector. Okay, I know. Alright. There's 2 M2 sockets, M2.1 and M2.2, whatever. Don't care about those. We're on the heatsink. We're not securing the motherboard yet. So it's this bastard. Plus 2 or big guy in. We'll throw the 8-pin in. I don't have a 4-pin on here, so that's a little weird. Only the motherboard may overheat under heavy. I guess I can make a 4 out of what we have, but let's just use the 1 8-pin for now. It's the way it looks. I'll do a little research on what I'm supposed to use. I guess I have the option. I have a lot of these. 24 went down there. I have 6 plus 2 PCIe, 4 plus 4 CPU. Okay. This isn't exciting, but you know, if you don't know what the fuck you're doing, it's pretty necessary. Shouldn't sneeze on this stuff either. Alright. This book makes me semi-unhappy here. $1,200. 4 plus 4. I guess I can plug it in anywhere where it says 8 pins, but I don't know. Books in way too many languages. Too hard to figure out. Plugs in there. Just put it in that one. Why? Because we can. Let's put it in this one, actually, up here. It's easier to take out. Well, hopefully we got enough stuff plugged in. I don't need a CPU fan there, or these things are kind of labeled. I'll have to study those a little harder. That's a beefy fucking cord. Plug this in. Oh boy. Power to the box. We're not going to the board just yet. Let's well, before we do that, I want to grab a monitor, set it up real quick. Alright guys, so we got the big ass monitor. Say get that down there. It's a 4K Asus monitor. It's like $270 on sale or something like that. It's whatever. It looked pretty good review wise. So we're just gonna go with it. Plugged it into the DVI port. Or the display port rather. Let's got some lights. Got a lot of lights. Okay. It's going. Well, I think that's a good result to start with. Go from here, I'll figure out how to Turn that off. Just got some RGB lights going on there. Okay. I guess that's good so far. I don't know. Looks like we got power to the board. Everything started lighting up. That was supposed to. Nothing went to the screen, but I'm not really sure if I'm in the right port for that. They're not labeled on here. I don't know. There's no ports off the motherboard for the screen. That's going, that's going. Reading some numbers. Oh! Please power down and connect the PCI power cables for this graphics card. I have no power cables to my graphics card. That makes sense. That's dumb. Well, that's what I get for being new at this, right? So I need power cables up there. I need 2 6ers. Makes sense. PCI. Huh. Guess that goes in there? That's a little weird. Let's see. Are they all like that? Maybe they're all like that. Yeah, 8s and 2 of those. SATA stuff. Okay. So, I don't know what those extra 2 are for. That's a little scary. Yeah. They're coming out of here as a jumper. But then these 2 are just kind of doing their thing. Well, what's the worst that can happen? Nuke the graphics card, maybe? Let's just look through here. If I can find a better alternative, I guess. SATA 8s. Got that Windows. Another SATA. That seems to be the best option. Guess there's 2 pigtails that just go. Guess they're supposed to go somewhere, but Hold on. All right. Ooh. Jesus. Just said BIOS is updating. That looks good so far. So if this is good, then tomorrow I'll clean up for tonight. Then tomorrow I'll get the case up here, and we'll try to mount everything back up in the case and see how that fucking goes. Oh, CPU fan speed error detected. That's might be okay. Press F1 to run setup. Total memory 665,000, so 65 gigabytes of DDR4. That's slower than it's supposed to be. 1950, 16 core, 3700 megahertz. Alright. Adjust, disable the fan speed low limit option in the UEFI BIOS. No keyboard detected. Let's get the old keyboard out. Yeah. Did not spend big money on accessories like keyboards, because I don't fucking care. Oh shit. Okay. I feel like that's fine for now. We'll dick around with this stuff a lot more when we get a case on it and everything. But that seems to be working. So it's got boot priority. It only sees the one. I don't know how to make it see both yet, but we'll figure that out. Alright, that's it for the first video. And hopefully this is the first thing I edit and put on this computer after it's done. So pretty excited for that. Let's shut it down. Alright. Turn the power off there. Alright, that's it for now. Just going to clean up and get everything presentable. Alright, so this is the case, guys. It's a Cooler Masters case. The box is a Masterbox Pro 5. I think it was 80 bucks on sale. And I took off the tempered glass. It's on this side. There was just a panel on this side. And I'm trying to figure out how to fit everything in here, just doing some test ideas. And I really want the cooler, the radiator, to be inboard of these fans so I can keep these fans. But in order to do that, I'm going to have to lose this whole apparatus here for the old hard drives, because I don't have any of those old hard drives. I'm not going to. And I'm trying to figure out. Gotta take this front piece of plastic off. There's these little tabs. Oh, there you go. So there's these little tabs that if I press them outwards, I guess that side. Alright. Okay. So there has a bunch of ports and shit up there. Let's see what's going on. Unfortunately, this thing's riveted on. So there's a couple rivets in the back. There's a bunch of rivets in the front, it feels like. Which kind of sucks. I mean, there's one rivet in the back there. 1, 2, 3 in the bottom, 6 in the bottom. And these 3 are underneath this foot. How is this foot attached? Hopefully like this. Is there a way to unplug you guys? No easy way. Let's just... So these are wire tied on here. So that's kind of tight. That's... Let me see where they're coming through on that side. Alright. So they're going up and they're going behind this to keep them hidden, I guess. So that's screwed. This is all riveted down here. How would the foot come off? The foot might be riveted on too. Could be a pain in the ass. Pop that back rivet. Oh shit. That's weird looking. There's so that's riveted to a separate plate on the floor there. Bigger driver. Oh! That makes life easy. A lot easier than I thought it was going to be. Just a screw holds that box in. We don't need this box. Not a bad system. I was looking for SATA drives. I'll figure out a different way to do them if I need them. But hopefully that improves flow a bit. A lot. So I guess let's install some risers. Give it a second little tool. That's a pain in the ass. I'm gonna get the socket real quick. This sucks. I don't know where my 1/4 inch socket set is. I don't really care. I grabbed my it's a 3/16 nut driver. It's definitely a little looser than I want because it's a metric thread, but improving the quality of life there immensely. So make sure they're set all the way in. Try to see if you can fit your fingernail behind them or not. Put 4 corners on right now. Make sure I got the 4 right holes. This has to go up like this. Plenty of room for that. Okay. So, all right, I missed the hole over here. I guess. I don't know. Yeah, I definitely missed that hole there. I gotta use this middle one here that already had a riser in it. So I'm doing bang bang, 2 there, and those there. It's gonna be a snug fit. Trying to pick up on all the aluminum heat sinks if possible. Try not put the stress on the board. So I need those 2.
Okay. So that's on. That's in. Almost in. So that's in there now. So I need one more down here. I'll grab another nut driver so I can put all these on. I'm assuming it's going to be the flanged head ones. They fit well. Yeah, those little flats are something else. There's a lot of... no fucks about what this is. Not a clue. But yeah. Alright, so using a 1/4-inch nut driver. For the actual screw heads, again, it's probably the closest metric equivalent. Might be an M6 or something like that. I don't know off the top of my head. Start by trying to get any single one of these things that I can. I probably should lay it down, but we're going to lay her down. Try to bring this closer to the camera. So you can use the ports in the back to try to guide you into where you gotta be. That looks about right. Alright, got one in. That's the start. Two. Three. Let's try to get the ones on this side over here.
Make sure to be conscious of trying to stay grounded. Don't know if that one's in. I'll have to double back to that one. This one's a pain. Alright, so I figured out what was wrong. I got the rest of them in. I put that spacer in the wrong spot. It's got to go down here. So I got to take them all out, take the motherboard out, and do it again. Jesus, that really sticks on there now. That's loose. What the fuck? Well, holds it in there pretty good. Let's try to figure out what to do next. Huh. There's that bolt that's loose here.
Jeez. So that bastard really goes on there, doesn't it? Woo! So that see, IO is really good at holding this thing in. So we're going to take this one off. We're going to bring it over one here. All right. Let's see. Kind of a pain in the ass. Alright. See if we can get that last one in here now. All right. So the motherboard's in place with all 9 screws.
figure out how I would like to mount this guy. Which, that's not so bad. There's a rail here. Off to the side. It's too big, sadly. But this cooler is not as big as this face rail here. But there's this rail here that I can get 1, 2, 3. I can get a bunch of bolts in it, which might be pretty good. Also, it offsets it a little bit to the left, which pushes it away from the motherboard. So is that a good thing or a bad thing? But I want to, let's think about that for a second, because I can offset it either way. Well, right in the middle there, I can get the top 2 in. I can get 2 more in there. Got to pull these fans off, which are some annoying plastic tab thing. Oof. Need a little help from a screwdriver. We can pull these off. Let me grab a screwdriver real quick. Alright, so I got both a screwdriver and my little grabber tool. It's a crimping tool, but gets it done. That one's all fucked up. All right. Oh wow. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Those will mount there too. That's pretty cool. So we will have 6 fans running on this radiator. I guess we can upgrade the size of the fans if we need, depending on what we're cooling going forward. So I think we have enough. Whoop. I think we have enough cooling potential, at least for now. Depending on how big this, or how good this radiator is, maybe we get a thicker one later, but there's plenty of room in there for it, so that's pretty cool. Or for a tank or anything I need. Bastards kind of pop out at you. Alright. Let's see. Do you guys thread in there? So use the extra board mount screws. Yeah. There's holes for it. not exactly sure how many of these bolts I'm actually going to need in here. It's not like this is a high vibration situation or anything like that. It's not super heavy, but we'll just keep putting them in. Works so good at the top, and it loses the game down here, unfortunately. Let's see. We'll put in as many as we can until the tolerances between the case and this this radiator don't allow us to anymore. Okay, so I guess if this doesn't bolt up perfectly, there's slides. But how many more screws do I got here? These are other things. Let's see if the fan can bolt back in. So I don't want to use these bolt holes because the fan's using them. That's kind of stupid of me. So use the slider holes here. The slots, not the holes. Blech. Right, they're all exposed here. So let's put 4 in the top and bottom. Then we'll throw 2 on the inside because there's 8 additional bolt holes in here. Those are for fan mounts. They're not for mounting this thing. So I'm going to take the inner crosses here just for no fucking reason at all other than just to do it. I mean, this is way overbuilt. There's way too many holes in here. Put the radiators in. It's got 3 fans on the back blowing that way. It's going to have these 3 fans. Also, do I need to space that off? That would kind of be a pain in the ass. See what we can do.
I want to run these fans. I need to do something a little different, because it's going to affect these holes, as well as these heads are going to affect them as well. I do want to run all the fans I can. Why give up cooling? So let's try. Let's see if we can get these to hold themselves in. I don't think so, though. I don't want to try drill that because I'm going to hit the fins here. We got to think of something different. How many standoffs I have left? So we got 3 standoffs. Left from the initial kit, which should be okay. So that's what we'll do, is we'll hit the standoffs, push this back a little bit. We only have 3 of them, but again, it's like 3-4 pounds. I don't need this many bolts. And if it gets bad, I'll order some standoffs and I'll put more bolts in it. I'm trying to avoid headaches here. So let's put 2 at the top. Wish there was a center mount at the bottom. That'd be kind of cool, but make a big right triangle out of it. 2 at the top, 1 at the bottom. We're going to put it on this side, so in case, for whatever reason, it keeps extra support pinning it from going towards the motherboard. I guess if I get in a car accident with it or something like that, maybe that's going to be important. But it's not overbuilt, it's not built right, right? So All right, guys. Sorry about that. I didn't realize when I looked up my memory card was full on the camera. So you missed me professionally putting these fans on with the zip ties they had in the package. So I had no other way to do it right now. If we ever go back and redo this, they're on there nice and tight, so it's good. But if we ever go back and redo this thing or change up this heating, cooling setup, we'll come in and I'll get some actual proper standoffs or something like that in order to do this much better than what we did right now. But it's on there. Everything's on there pretty tight. One other thing I did was I reinstalled this guy, this M.2 drive SSD, with the included holder here to stiffen it up, and makes a lot more sense there. There's just 2 screws in the board. There's this little pin attachment there made out of plastic. No big deal, but made sense. Also, there was a clear piece of plastic on here that I was able to get off as well. It took me a little bit of time working on it, but I got it off. And yeah, case is pretty much together now. Now I got to run all the lines in, and I'll put the front cover back on first, I guess, and try to get all the lines in. I got to get the power supply in. That's the other big deal. And yeah, wire it all up, and hopefully we got a working computer still. Now it's going to be a little trickier. Oh no. Well, that's not so cool. But so the big cable now won't be able to slide through up there. So I guess we'll go through down here and see if we can keep it out of the way. That over there, and almost there. So there's holes and pins. So that's back together. And they're in there. Once the plate goes back on, that's going to be really hard to tell. Anything's up there, it's not too bad. Made the best out of the situation we had. Alright. Woohoo. Let's see if we can sneak this power supply in. Not too big to go in there, which sucks. Then we got to put that in. So that was probably something we should have did first, was put the power supply in before we start dicking around with the radiator.
That's all my work I just did. I gotta undo. Unless there's a way to have this slip off for right now. Oh look, there's plastic tabs there. And a screw here. Oh, that's hopefully. Oh, that's excellent. Look at that. That's just a plastic piece, but woo, that makes that a lot easier to deal with. Good for these guys. Let's put this monster in. And 1, 2. It'll bolt in a bunch of them. Oh. Give it a shot. All thumbs. And put the one on that did not have a washer, even though I put one with a washer on it. That's great. There's a lot of mounting screw holes here, but if we can use them, we can use them. So that's not a mounting hole, that's just a piece of the honeycomb in the bracket there. There's the other mounting hole right here. And that's not a mounting hole there either, that's also a piece of the honeycomb. No mounting hole there. So there's 4 in there keeping this thing in place. Let's see if this thing can slide back over. One on this way. Yep. So that will cover that up. That's pretty nice that they make it idiot proof. So people like me can't fuck it up. Alright. Let's get a little heavy. This is kind of a pain in the ass. So we got these two, which you're fucking going to the wrong thing. Okay. All the fans. SATA connector? No. Huh. I don't know where that connector goes. But pretty sure all these guys go down here. We just gotta figure out where each one goes. They do have decent labels on them. So there's channel fans. Exterior fan. EXT fan, CHA fan 2, CHA fan 3, water pump, M.2 fan, so another fan we could throw on there. I guess that's the, I don't know what that is. It's RGB header, yeah. AAFP. The fuck is that either? This is a USB 2. CPU fan. There's another fan up there we can use. That's a 3-prong fan plug. It's a little different. Maybe it's just a cheapo fan. Goes full blast all the time. I mean, for the price of this thing, I can't imagine it having much better in it. Yeah, so no fucking idea where this goes. You guys see this one? It's a 4-pin, but only 2 pins in it, and it's chunky. I have no idea where this would go. Let me get the instructions out. See, would it fit down here? I guess that works for it. We can sneak underneath everything. Alright. That's a weird plug. Water pump, M2 fan. So I think, I don't know what I think. HD audio. It's the USB serial here. That can go there, which we could probably oh wait, can't go through there because that's going to have the power supply cover going through it. Guess we'll bring it up underneath. All right. One down. So these go here. Jesus. Oh, and speaker. Don't know where this big bastard goes yet. But these little guys. Power SW, power LEDs plus minus. Jesus. Let's try to figure out how these are put together. Is this a sensor maybe? Would that fit there? It would, but I don't know. Don't really like that. Alright, so the panel buttons, the little panel pins, are here. I don't know if you guys can see that. Let's try to adjust that a little more for you. Power LED 1 is this first pin. Power LED plus, and then negative is the next one. So plus Okay. Ground is over 2. HDD LED is on the bottom here. Plus negative matters, or positive negative matters, I should say. Holy. This is rough. Just want to spin this over like this. Reset switch. Should be next to it. Okay. Power switch should be up here. Power positive again. Alright. So that's difficult, but that plugs in. Let me grab my instructions for the case. Figure out what the fuck these are and where they're going. And, yeah. Guess that's cool with that fan. We will find out pretty quickly. I still don't have a 4 plug. I don't know. Maybe I can use a 6er instead. I'm not sure. I gotta see what the pinout is there versus what's in this box here for it. And this is the AIO pump, but there's another water pump down here. I guess they both send the same. They look like the same size wires, so it feels kind of weird that 3 fans plus the pump are running off of 1. But whatever. We're gonna have a little bit of a pressure difference if these are really blowing in. I hope these are blowing in. I guess they are. Unfortunately, none of these fans. Oh, this one's blowing out that way, so I'm assuming these are bringing in the way they're set up. And yeah, so I'll be right back with. Alright, so I'm back with this. This 4-pinner is 12 volt GRB. I think I've seen that over here. Yep. I'm assuming where the little arrow is the 12 volt. So that would go in there. Where the fuck does this thing go? It goes to the power supply itself. I need to find something in the power supply that looks like that. My bad. Huh. Oh. These fucking things. Oh, here we go. Um, does that turn it into... Well, no, it's... I need a female. One of these guys I need. Alright. That's going to get all the amps that it needs then. It is a SATA then. It's got a bunch of these off of it. So I guess we use the first one in the chain. Alright. Not bad. So really wish I had something cleaner there, but becoming a mess. Oh, we still have one connector to go. HD audio. That has to go with these over here then. So we have one blanked out there. So we have a gap. Huh. Doesn't look right. Speaker. So I need 5 pins. 1, 2, 3, 4 up there. That's just not right. 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm just not sure about this one. There's a little arrow right there, so power's in the top left, and I know that it gets a little power, but I'm not sure. It doesn't even like going there. Okay. Oh, wait. Over here. I'm being stupid. Let's see if we got the room. Alright, so that goes over there then. Okay. So I guess I could, you guys see that? It's all 12 volt positive and ground's coming back on these 4s or 6s or whatever. So I guess they all do the same thing. That's the 8-pinner. That one makes an 8-pinner, but you don't exactly need it. Unless... Might be able to feed the graphics card with these two 6s and then try to feed that port with these two other guys, but that's going to be too small. Not exactly sure that works out either. That seems wrong. But they have these two dangling from the graphics card. I didn't have full power going to it. I need an 8 and a 6 going into it. Smaller fans or something. A lot of weird connections here. Alright. So let's plug in the ones I have and see where we're going from there. Got the big guy to put up there first. Alright. Big bastards in. Got the 8-pinner. Alright. Would you fit? Whoa. I know I have another 8-pin to 8-pin one. So it's 2 squares. Guess I could cut this bastard and put it in there, but that seems not great. I could do this with 2 little guys, and we're gonna try this next. I noticed that I didn't exactly need them, but we have the power supply to do them, so might as well give it everything it's got, you know? It's gotta be good for the graphics card. Yep, nice rat's nest we're making. So one, we'll go up here to this. Let's try to. Oh shit. So I think these aren't going to work then, because these are the same, it looks like. Yeah, they're the same, and those are different. We can plug it into the one side, then the other side would be inversed. Huh. So if I could do that, but that won't plug in the way that is. Are these different? Those are the same. I might have to order another cable to use that little one there if I need it. I think I do. Well, I know I can power it, so that's a little disappointing. Alright guys, so I'm going to give it a break for right now, but we'll plug in the graphics card, everything else going forward, and hopefully wrap this thing up. And hopefully everything turns on again and everything's wired up correctly, but we'll see. Alright, we're back. I found out I can stick the other 8-pin in there. There was a thing on the board, but it clears it because it clicked incorrectly. I don't know, man, I should put some glue in the front of those connectors that aren't being used so it can't transfer any power through. Or maybe brick something. We'll see. But I used the second 8-pin I had. I put it there. I plugged it in there. So that's good. let's try to set the graphics card to get that out of the way. I don't know how many of these the graphics card is going to take up, but probably a few of them. Let's get them out of the way. Alright. So, make sure that's popped down. I'm gonna run you underneath there, like that. Alright. Oh. So it's going to take up those two. That looks straight, which is good. Put this top one back in. Okay. And want the second bolt just for the shits and giggles. Let's take the Wi-Fi card. This one. Let that hide that wire better. Taking out the wrong one. Yep. Toss this one back in. I think my dog's attacking the Christmas tree again. Alright, so we got our PCI slots being used now. I think those are for say to memory.
Alright, let's try to finish this video up.
Grab some more zip ties.
So what's left, so I got to put this in. Put that one in there. And I guess we'll just tuck that one behind and bring that out that way. That's magnetic.
Really enhances the look, that one. And
let's turn it on, make sure everything's functioning the way it's supposed to be. I think we have everything in place now, and we'll go from there.
alright. Let me get the screen over here. Still got to put this cover back in. So that cover's on now. Alright. Grab the screen. That in. Turn that on. You plugged in, you're plugged in. Alright. Okay. Well, here goes nothing.
Jesus. So let's throw the mouse on. Let me find my keyboard. All right. That's good. All right. So I got a keyboard and a mouse plugged into the front slots there. Which is great. Bring that back there. It's like your Target fan. Wow, so I got fan controls. Is every fan running? These are running. Those are running. That's running. So my fans are running. So just like any of these profiles, standard, silent, turbo. Okay. Turbo? Sure. Alright. Let's try that. So the memory goes up to 3003, which is pretty cool. Alright. Easy tuning wizard. CPU 4050 megahertz. I guess I can enable. To enhance system performance. It's running at 4100 megahertz now. Temperature's pretty cool still. Whoa. Wow. All right. Cool. Tweaker's parrot. Wow. So you can set the voltages of stuff. Huh. Very interesting. I'm not trying to go too crazy here, though. It's getting a little warmer. Okay. It's only reading the one fan, though. It's not reading these fans because they're attached to the water pump circuit. Media editing. We have a water cooler. That CPU fan is properly installed on CPU fan header or just disable the fan speed low limit. Okay. A lot of info on that spread spectrum. I'll have to look up what any of this stuff actually means. So that's going to increase the memory to 3000, which is what's advertised at, which is cool. That's clockable to that. Makes it a little faster. The latency is not exactly great on it, but it was cheap. So, is what it is. All right. So it's got this cool little thing here, which I think can be useful to us. It's a hard one to get in, man. But it gets in. So that cleans up that. You can go back there. The way you came. And we can bring you. Rat's nest. We can bring you straight down like this, though. And we unplug this little thing right now. Make sure that's in. So tuck that wire straight. This one kind of sucks, but it's black and hidden. So that's good. That'll clean up those. Oh, something fell out here. So that makes those all right. And you're just gonna come through like this. All right. So I don't really mind how these guys are going.
They're just doing their thing. And so are they. Okay. Wait. Well, that's a fucked up thing there. Let's see. Can we all meet somewhere here? Figure all of these should be back here. And all this stuff should go back with it. I can zip tie it there. I want you to do that. How many of these wires do we have? Let's clear the clutter a little bit. That one also has to get unplugged. You're not involved here. So, alright. We got the, these big bastards separated now. You're your own beast there. Ooh, that's crossed. So my idea is going to be get all of these lying flat together. Slip you guys onto here. Need a bigger one. What you doing, baby? Okay. And tuck them like that. That's pretty good. Fairly manageable there. So I don't mind that. I think that looks pretty okay. So that gets that one tied down too. And those are all out of the way now. So now these
bring them like that. I gotta plug these two back in. So you went through that one and you went through this one. Oh shit, you come somewhere else. So that does that. Which we'll run it along the top like that. Guess we zip tie it. Plug her in. Wait. Getting tight. Hooks in. Yeah, it's in. I don't see any wires, so. Alright. So this one can be brought back a bit. And so can this one. A little bit. Huh. Should get that one too. All right. So these, I can get them right here, and then they'll kind of tuck in right there. Just feed them into that. We're gonna have to make a loop somewhere, so I guess we'll make a loop right in there, but you can't see it. I still have these to bring through, which I think I'm gonna slide them through here. We'll see how they look. We'll see what we got to do. As far as that goes.
this fucking thing. All this, we're gonna have to loop it in there somewhere. All right. So the HDD and the reset were at the bottom. Some light. I think everything's in place. Let's see if we can make her close. So I got this panel, which I think wedges in like that. All right, that's good. It's bowing out a tiny bit in the middle there, but whatever. Let me find the other screw here. All right. Okay. So that looks pretty good. Sticks out a little bit right up there and at the bottom. That's kind of weird. Not a real great fit and finish. All right. It's a nice glass panel that's going to face that wall over there. So that's good. So you can see everything inside of it if you're against the wall. Guess we'll just throw that fucker back there. And alright, next step is I have to load Windows into it. I'm not going to do that on camera. I feel like this video is going to be long enough seeing me blunder around, making mistakes, and building my first computer. If you guys liked it, let me know. Again, this is not a professional thing here. This is just raw and what it took and the issues and experience I had along the way. You should watch out for that one port there. That case is bothersomely not square, I guess. But it's good enough. No one's ever going to see it, really. This side's, even still, these are
this is loose, man. This thing is warped, this back panel here. Guess it's a hard panel. It's pretty flat. But they did put bends on both top and bottom. I just bowed out a little bit on the bottom as well, but I feel like that might be more of my cables. But right up here, that's like inexcusable. Ooh. Let's see if I can get that on the video. Like right there. That's a hard edge. Like that really needs to be in more. And it's just not. And at the bottom too, same deal. Like that's not particularly cool. There's no filter in here, which again kind of sucks, but yeah, it's together. This to actually be able to put this together, I'm glad YouTube's available as a resource, so I could see other people who do this, put them together, so it wasn't so daunting. Probably should have did a little more research on the exact wires I needed to go places, because that was probably the most difficult part. Besides that, it felt like basically Legos. The PC parts picker program, that is really good to make sure all the parts or components are going to fit together, because there's a lot of different things and pitfalls. So that helped extremely to make sure this whole thing would work. Sizing the radiator was a little weird. It was a little difficult to get full dimensions for the radiator and for the case. I actually took the picture of the case that was on the internet because it had one dimension in it, so I took the picture and put it in AutoCAD and I scaled it, and that's how I made sure I could fit this radiator in here. And I was concerned about this spacing because I wasn't exactly sure how big this card was going to be or anything, but there's plenty of room in here. I got tons of room for, I guess, additional things if I needed them. There's a big space. And yeah. Alright, that was the first step. Like I said, I'm not going to put a video together putting windows in or anything like that. There's much better tutorials online than seeing me slowly do it. But hope some people got some insight. It doesn't seem that hard to put a computer together. It really doesn't. If it's your first time like it was mine, it seemed easy enough. And yeah, you get a decent looking product. Not so bad. Guess let's plug it in one more time. Let's hit this light. All right. Alright. Well, that's it for this. Thank you guys. Hopefully you're going to see this video after I edit it with this bastard. And yeah. Thanks for watching it, guys.